The woman, to prevent her 3 cubs from starving, dug through the ice with her bare hands, and threw the family's only edible piece of fish meat into the freezing, bone-chilling depths of the water, watching the only food they could eat sink rapidly to the bottom. The 3 young cubs finally realized that this vile female in front of them was trying to kill them. But what they didn't know was that the woman had done this because only she understood that this was the fastest way to obtain food on this barren, food-scarce tundra. Because, in this world, the beast folk had no concept of fishing. If they wanted to eat, they had to dive into the water to catch their prey or go hunting. All because Josie was originally a wilderness survival streamer with millions of followers. Yet who could have guessed that after waking up from a nap, she would transmigrate into a beast world novel she had read, becoming the birth mother of the story's major villain. In the original plot, though the original host was the biological mother of the 3 cubs, she didn't act like one. Not only did she often withhold food from her cubs, she even repeatedly stole the food they had painstakingly scavenged, watching coldly as they starved. The original host's beast partner was a male rogue beast. In the beast world, male rogue beasts were savage and brutal, so they were rejected by major tribes and beast cities. Even female rogue beasts, due to their low fertility rates, were not tolerated by tribes or beast cities. Thus, the original host had no choice but to wander the wilds with her beast partner since childhood. But 3 years ago, her beast husband was killed during a hunt. The original host could only survive on her own. In the beast world, females had almost 0 combat ability. To survive, the original host came up with a bold idea. That was to find a male from a powerful tribe to provide for her. Coincidentally, 3 years ago, she discovered a male fox beastman with a 6-star beast soul in a cave. In the beast world, even a small ordinary tribe having a warrior with a 2-star beast soul was already rare, let alone a powerhouse with a 6-star beast soul. So, the original host took advantage of his injury and used a love fruit on him, forced him to mate with her, hoping to make him her beast husband. But unexpectedly, after one night, the next day, when she returned to the cave after fetching water, she found that the male fox beastman had disappeared. What shocked her even more was just that one night stand resulted in her giving birth to 2 fox cubs, Joan and Kiki. This made life even harder for the already struggling original host. But she didn't give up on her plan to find a powerful male. Not long after giving birth to the 2 fox cubs, she took advantage of another male snake beastman. After their passionate encounter, the male snake beastman flew into a rage and tried to attack the original host. Frightened, she fled. Soon after, she gave birth to a snake cub. The 3 cubs made her life even more miserable. She felt the cubs were nothing but a burden to her. Whenever there was food, she would eat her fill first. Only then would she toss the leftover scraps to the cubs. As a result, the cubs grew up without a shred of affection. In the end, they became the ultimate villains and nearly destroyed the beast world. Thinking of this, Josie decided to put aside thoughts of the future for now. After all, what she needed to focus on right now was whether she could fill her stomach today. The endless glaciers stretching before her made her scalp tingle. Though she had plenty of wilderness survival experience, without any tools to assist her, she had no idea how many days she could last in this godforsaken place. Josie stopped overthinking. She turned and walked toward the back of the ice cave. As she approached, she spotted 2 cubs dressed in crude animal hides. Their backs were turned to her, their 4 fluffy fox ears twitching excitedly. From sheer happiness, they didn't notice Josie's approach at all. Josie stepped forward and yanked Joan's silver-tipped braid. Joan let out a whimper, turning to bare his milk teeth still stained with fish scraps at Josie. His light brown fox eyes burned with fury. "Stupid female, what are you doing? Let me go." Beside him, Kiki saw her brother being grabbed. Her pair of sapphire blue fox eyes blinked repeatedly, gazing innocently at Josie. "Mommy, Kiki is so hungry. Kiki hasn't eaten meat in days. Woo. Please don't take Kiki's food away, okay?" Josie froze for a moment when she saw this. Just as her heart softened, Kiki grabbed the remaining meat and turned to run. Even after running far away, she didn't forget to turn back and stick her tongue out at Josie. "Haha, stupid female. Fooled you, didn't I?" Seeing her little sister run off, Joan struggled anxiously. "Kiki, save some for me. I was the one who stole that fish." "Beast!" Josie withdrew her gaze. The grip in her hand tightened slightly. Joan glared at Josie unhappily. His childish voice was full of anger. "Stupid female, let me go. That fish beast was ours. What right do you have to take it from us?" Josie broke into a sweat. In her memories, due to the harsh living conditions, food on the ice plains was extremely scarce. The four of them, weak and young, had no way to catch larger prey. They could only fish for fish beasts in the ice caves, but often came back empty-handed, living a miserable life of starving. 9 meals out of 3. Yesterday, Kiki and the others finally managed to catch 2 fish beasts before they could even eat. She, as their mother, snatched and hid them away. Josie loosened her grip, her expression softening. "If you want to eat, just tell me. I'll give it to you." As soon as Josie finished speaking, she saw Joan roll his eyes. "Stupid female, you only ever take our food. You'd never give it to us." Josie was at a loss for words. The original owner indeed wouldn't have. In the original story, she repeatedly snatched food from the cubs, so several cubs held a grudge against her. After they grew into major villains, they personally force-fed her till she burst. Finally, they threw her corpse to wild beasts to be devoured completely. Thinking of her own fate, Josie's brows furrowed. But fortunately, the cubs were still young, and there was still time to improve her relationship with them. Josie firmly grabbed Joan's hand, picked up the remaining fish beast's head from the ground, and said, "It's not that I won't let you eat, but our food is limited right now. If we eat it all at once, what will we do when we're hungry again?" Joan tried to break free from Josie's grip, but she held on too tightly. Yet, hearing her words, Joan's light brown fox eyes looked at her curiously. Since when did the stupid female bother explaining when she took their things? She was obviously lying to him. He wouldn't believe the stupid female. "Stupid female, what do you even want?" Josie then led him to an ice cave and said, "Go into the ice cave and fetch that leather strap for me." Joan frowned prettily, but didn't move. "Stupid female, what are you trying to do?" Josie shook the fish beast's head in her hand, smiled, and said, "You'll find out soon. Be good and hurry up." Joan froze at the sight of her smiling face. This stupid female had never smiled at them before. Help the female mother for a while to catch fish beasts. The female mother will let you eat. Jonah wanted to refuse, but looking at Josie's gentle smile, he inexplicably whimpered in agreement and ran into the ice cave. While he was away, Josie glanced toward the ice hole. Her reflection appeared on the icy surface. She had long silver hair. Upon closer inspection, one could see a strand of snow-white hair mixed within the silver, and a strand of crimson-red hair. In the beast world, after a female mates with a male, the female's hair retains a strand of the male's hair color. But she hadn't noticed the 2 hidden strands of different colors at the back of her head. She had a soft, oval face, but due to long-term malnutrition, her cheeks were sunken and hollow. A tiny red mole also adorned the corner of her eye. Though her face was somewhat dirty, if properly cared for, she couldn't even imagine how beautiful she'd look once cleaned up. But she had no intention of washing her face or bathing with the icy water now, because falling sick from the cold would mean certain death. Josie didn't stare for long. She picked up a large chunk of ice from the side and smashed it into the ice hole. The frigid hole had already frozen over with a layer of ice. To fish, she had to break through it. By the time her hands were nearly frozen stiff, she finally cracked through the ice layer. Enduring the biting cold, Josie scooped out the shattered ice from the hole. Not long after, Joan returned with the animal hide strips. This was something they had picked up earlier on the ice plains, scraps of fur trimmed from the male beast's hide. It looked like a rope. Josie tied the fish beast's head to the fur and threw it into the ice hole. Joan grew anxious at the sight. "Stupid female, how could you throw away food?" Joan's snow-white tail flicked as he reached toward the ice hole, trying to retrieve the fish beast's head. But Josie was quick, grabbing his tail, pulling him back to her side, keeping him from squirming. "Stop fidgeting, fishing for fish beasts." Joan's fluffy ears twitched, his little face puzzled. What was fishing for fish beasts? Because, in this primitive beast world, the beastmen had no concept of fishing. So Josie explained, "It's about putting the bait that the fish beast likes into the water. Wait until it bites the bait, then we catch it." Joan seemed to half understand. And certain, he looked at Josie as she spoke. A cold wind blew, freezing Josie, who quickly hugged Joan to shield him from the cold wind. Jonah felt the warmth of her embrace. He was completely stunned. What's wrong with this stupid female today? She actually hugged him. Suddenly, Jonah's expression changed. He forcefully pushed Josie away. "You stupid female. Are you trying to throw me into the ice hole when I'm not looking? To freeze me to death?" Josie sighed, rubbing her forehead. "I just wanted to shield you from the wind." Joan didn't believe her at all. He snorted, "Stupid female. I won't fall for your beast-deceiving words." After saying that, as if afraid Josie would grab him, he turned and ran away. Josie was helpless. Seems like building a good relationship with the cubs will have to take time. For now, filling their stomachs comes first. Snapping back to reality, she stared intently at the ice hole, waiting until her legs went numb, but the beast hide in her hand showed no movement. Still, she patiently held on. Just as her face was about to freeze stiff from the wind, the beast hide in her hand finally twitched. After a while, she finally saw the fish beast at the end of the line. Josie immediately grabbed a nearby chunk of ice and smashed it hard into the ice hole. After smashing it several times in a row, a smile finally appeared on her stiff face. Great, she wouldn't go hungry today. The fish beast's head had attracted several more fish beasts. With just one strike earlier, she had knocked all of them unconscious. Josie hauled the dazed fish beasts up. 5 in total. Fish beasts in the beast world were no small fry, each weighing around 10 pounds. At the very least, they wouldn't go hungry for 2 days. Soon, Josie carried the fish back to the ice cave and stored them. But just as she finished putting them away, she heard the sound of a struggle outside. Worried something had happened to the cubs, she rushed out of the ice cave. Following the noise, she ran some distance and saw a crimson little python coiled around a polar bear cub. The cub's face was flushed red from being constricted. On the verge of suffocation, the crimson snake's head slowly rose, then bared its fangs, ready to strike the cub. Josie's expression changed drastically. "Jolie, stop." Hearing her voice, the crimson python, Jolie, paused. He glanced back at Josie, his slit pupils turning even colder at the sight of her. Then, he turned and bit down. Seeing this, Josie rushed over and snatched Jolie up, grabbing his head to stop him from attacking the polar bear cub. The polar bear cub was finally able to break free. It quickly scrambled up from the ground and ran away. Jolie saw him take the fish beast from the ground. Angrily, he hissed at Josie with his snake-like tongue. In the blink of an eye, he transformed into human form. The little one had long crimson hair, and a pair of cold, red vertical pupils glared at Josie. Beneath the corner of his eye was a red fang-shaped mark, making his delicate face appear even more aloof and adorable. Josie sighed inwardly, thinking how good-looking her 3 cubs were. At that moment, Jolie spoke coldly, "Stupid female. You made me lose my food." Josie snapped out of her thoughts, frowning. "Did you catch that fish beast yourself?" Jolie's vertical pupils grew even redder. "He caught it. I stole it, so it's mine." In the mindset of a rogue beastman, whatever they desired, they took by force. If they succeeded, it belonged to them. This was also one of the reasons other beastmen despised them. From now on, don't steal food from other beastmen. Mother caught a fish beast. Come back with me and eat. Josie reached out to grab Jolie's hand, but he coldly avoided her, stepping back a few paces as his red eyes glared at her frostily. "Stupid female. You wouldn't be so kind as to give me food. What evil scheme are you plotting now?" Josie opened her mouth to speak, when suddenly a crisp voice echoed in her mind. "Congratulations, host, for binding with the Yangzai system. I am System Zhao Yao. The host only needs to complete the tasks assigned by the system. You will receive a system reward. System task loading completed. Host, please have your cub Jolie apologize to the polar bear cub. Set the right values and morals for the cub." Josie was almost moved to tears. This was exactly what she had planned to do anyway. Now, while properly guiding the cubs to prevent them from turning dark, she could also earn rewards. There was no reason for her not to do it. But the uneasy Josie still asked telepathically, "What if I fail?" "The host will receive an electric shock as punishment." Josie instantly felt nothing but speechless. Snapping back to reality, Josie looked at Jolie, who was glaring coldly at her. She crouched down, doing her best to make her expression appear more like that of a mother. "Jolie, you hurt the polar bear cub just now. Soon, his father beast and stepmother will definitely come looking for trouble. You should come back with me first. Otherwise, they'll take you away." Jolie frowned, his little mouth pressed tightly together. Though he didn't know what this foolish female was up to, her words weren't wrong. That white bear stepmother was known to beat beasts. Returning to the ice cave, Josie saw Joan and Kiki, the 2 little ones, hugging fish beasts as they gnawed on them. When they noticed Josie's return, they warily clutched their fish beasts, looking for a chance to slip away. Josie didn't scold them. Instead, she said, "Today, each of you can have 1 fish beast. The rest will be saved for tomorrow." Originally, she had planned to make them last 2 days. But for now, the priority was getting the little cubs to lower their guard around her. Jolie shot Josie a wary glance, but he couldn't resist the lure of food. Grabbing a fish beast from the ground, he began devouring it hungrily. Josie watched the 3 little cubs, eating so ravenously. Her expression softened. She was starving too, her stomach practically touching her back. Picking up a fish beast, she was about to eat, when suddenly, a roar came from outside. "Jolie, get your ass out here." Josie glanced back at Jolie. His cold little face grew even frostier, his red pupils narrowing into slits. "Don't be scared. Mother will go check first. You all focus on filling your bellies." With that, Josie stepped outside. Just walked outside of the ice cave, Josie saw a male and a female, 2 extremely burly white bear beastmen. The white bear female beastman saw Josie come out. She glared with wide eyes. "Josie, that snake spawn of yours hurt my cub. Hand over that vicious snake spawn of yours right now." Though Josie was displeased with how she spoke of her child, she softened her tone. After all, Jolie was in the wrong first. "I've already looked into the matter, and it's true that my Jolie was at fault. It was also my negligence as a mother. I apologize to you." Josie's attitude left the white bear family of 3 stunned. Such incidents had happened before, and every time, Josie would toss out the cub, they demanded, leaving them to deal with it as they pleased. They would then let their own cub beat up her offspring as punishment. "Let's just forget about this matter." But today, Josie actually took the initiative to apologize. Inside the ice cave, Jolie listened to Josie's words. With an expressionless face, he ate the last bite of the mysterious meat. He stood up. Kiki watched Jolie rise. Blinking her clear, large eyes, she tilted her little head. "Third brother, you better find a chance to sneak away. Otherwise, that stupid female will definitely hand you over to those dumb polar bears." Joan nodded. "Last time, your snake tail was nearly beaten to a break. That stupid female dumped you outside the ice cave in disgust. If I hadn't found you in time, you would have frozen to death. If you can't escape this time, you might lose your life." Jolie's expression grew even colder. He stood up and assessed the situation outside, planning to slip away while Josie wasn't paying attention. The moment he dashed out, Josie swiftly caught him in her arms. Jolie stiffened in fright. "Stupid, let me go." Josie gently patted his bottom, lowering her voice. "Don't run, listen to me. I promise they won't hurt you." Jolie didn't believe her at all, struggling to break free from her grip. "Jolie, just trust your mother this once. Tomorrow, I'll more fish beasts for you to eat." Jolie pressed his little lips tightly together. He didn't trust Josie, but he couldn't break free. Still, he had eaten his fill today. When that stupid female handed him over to the dumb polar bears later, he'd find another chance to escape. Josie saw that he wasn't moving anymore. Then he turned to the polar bear family. "I'll have Jolie apologize to you. How about compensating you with a fish beast as well?" The polar bear family exchanged glances, unsure why Josie had suddenly changed his tune. But they found the terms acceptable. After all, in this frozen wilderness, even they didn't find it easy to secure food. Seeing their agreement, Josie gently patted Jolie's shoulder. "Jolie, apologize to them." Jolie's little face remained tense. He coldly retorted, "He stole my food before too, and never apologized to me." The polar bear cub immediately bristled. "You were the one who took mine first." Josie watched the little cub's tightly clenched fists. "I guess he probably isn't lying." She looked at the polar bear cub. "You tell me, did you steal Jolie's food before?" The polar bear cub snorted. "He stole mine first." Josie's face darkened. She looked at the female polar bear beastman. "You heard it. Your cub also stole my cub's food. We can apologize to you, but you must also apologize to my cub." The polar bear beastman snorted coldly. "Jolie almost strangled our cub. And you still want us to apologize? Keep dreaming. Hand Jolie over to us, or this isn't over." After the polar bear beastman spoke, that palm larger than her head reached out to grab Jolie. Josie's heart skipped a beat. She quickly retreated while holding Jolie. "You're a grown-ass man. How dare you bully a cub and a female? Aren't you afraid of being punished by the beast god? Just because even I fits a stray beast. Females are also much more precious than males. Is not someone you can bully at will." Jolie looked at Josie, woefully stood up for him this time, astonished beyond belief. After hearing what Josie said, the white bear beastman, there was a moment of hesitation. He is afraid of the beast god's punishment. Josie saw his hesitation. She continued, "I said, we're willing to apologize for what happened today. But your cub must also apologize to Jolie for what he did before." The white bear beastman glanced at the female beastman, letting her make the decision. Compared to beating Jolie up, the female white bear beastman wanted food more. After all, it would only get colder from here, and they had to stock up on enough supplies. "Fine." She grabbed the white bear cub and said, "Apologize to that snake brat." The white bear cub was reluctant, but still obeyed, and muttered, "Sorry." Josie also looked at Jolie. Jolie's gloomy little brows were almost knitted into a scowl. Jolie had already realized his mistake. "Now, it's your turn." Jolie glared at Josie, stiffly muttered, "Sorry." An apology spared him a beating. Jolie didn't think it was a bad deal. Congratulations, host, for completing the task of making the cub Jolie apologize. The system will reward you with a fire starter. Please check your inventory. Josie saw a lighter appear in the void-like space. She did need the fire starter. But right now, what she really wanted was food. Okay? Still, something was better than nothing. She willed the fire starter to be temporarily stored in the system's void space. Josie took out a fish beast. After giving it to the polar bear beastman family, they left. When Josie returned to the ice cave, Joan shot her a disdainful look. Stupid female, you just gave away a fish beast for free. Don't you know how hard it is to find food now? Tomorrow, you'll go hungry. Jo twitched her two fluffy ears and flashed Josie a very fake smile. Clearly, she shared Joan's opinion. This mother will keep looking for food tomorrow. You won't starve. Jolie stood to the side, watching Josie without a word, then walked over to Joan and the others and lay down. The three well-fed cubs huddled on the ground and closed their eyes, clearly not taking Josie's words seriously. Josie wiped her face, reminding herself that bear cubs weren't easy to teach. Then she stared at the last remaining fish beast on the ground and swallowed hard. Picking up the ice knife nearby, she cut off a small piece of meat. She didn't like eating raw food, but this damned place had no firewood at all. Even having a fire starter was useless. To avoid starving to death, she had to make do. Luckily, she didn't mind sashimi. After eating a palm-sized piece of lean fish, she put the rest away. She glanced at the three cubs huddled together on the ground, then took a fur from the bed and covered them with it. Josie looked at the darkening sky outside, lay down on the ice bed, and slowly closed her eyes. In her sleep, Josie felt a violent shaking, startling her awake. She got up from the bed, feeling the tremors beneath her feet. She quickly ran outside the cave to check the situation. After seeing clearly, her face turned pale. Turns out, the ice where the cave was located had cracked. The ice floe was breaking away from the mountain. If they didn't leave quickly, they'd be trapped on the drifting ice. Who knows where they'd end up then? And the water was full of wild beasts that preyed on animals. Josie didn't have time to think. She turned and ran back into the ice cave to wake the cubs. Jolie, wake up, all of you. The ice where the cave is separated from the mountain. We need to get out of here fast. The cubs jolted awake immediately. Joan was the first to realize what was happening. He quickly got up and rushed straight toward the remaining fish beast, holding it in her arms. Josie didn't know whether to laugh or cry. She quickly rolled up the animal hides in the cave. These were all the belongings of their family of 4. Hurry and follow mother. The little cubs transformed into their beast forms. Jolie was a crimson python. Joan and Kiki were 2 snow-white Arctic foxes. Josie also transformed into a silver-frosted white wolf, leading the cubs. She swiftly ran toward the direction of the iceberg. But the massive ice block had already broken away from the mountain. They were now a considerable distance from the mountain. The cubs were still young. There was no way they could jump that distance. Kiki fearfully pressed closer to her brother. After all, they were still too young. Faced with danger, they couldn't help but feel like crying. Josie quickly backed up, then sprinted forward, and leaped to the opposite side in one go. The 3 cubs watched as Josie left so decisively. Even though they knew Josie had never liked them, they couldn't help but despair, their eyes reddening. They had been abandoned. But the next second, Josie retreated, took a running start and leaped back onto the ice block. When the 3 cubs saw Josie jump back, they were utterly astonished. Before they could think further, Josie urged, Jolie, quick, climb onto mother. Mother will carry you across. Jolie thought he must have misheard. The stupid female who hated them actually didn't abandon them. Jolie didn't have time to think. He immediately coiled around Josie. Soon, Josie did the same, carrying the remaining 2 fox cubs on her back. Only after landing safely did Josie collapse into the snow, heaving a sigh of relief. Kiki watched as Josie, now fallen, shifted back into human form. She wanted to step forward, but hesitated, staying rooted in place. She didn't understand why Josie hadn't abandoned them. It felt strange to her, but also a little happy. Josie caught her breath and shifted back into human form as well. She looked at the 3 cubs and said, "I'm fine." After speaking, a heavy silence fell, because their home was gone. Kiki twisted her small hands, her childish face full of distress. "Where will we go?" Josie frowned. They were rogue beasts, despised by the tribes and beast folk of the Beast City. Otherwise, she wouldn't have stayed in the harsh tundra. But the tundra could no longer sustain them. She had to take the cubs and leave. Head south. If they encountered a tribe, find a way to secure a place to stay. At least to survive this winter. The cubs exchanged glances, shocked that Josie was willing to take them along. "Stupid female, you're really bringing us with you?" Joan couldn't help but ask. He had just finished speaking when his forehead got flicked by Josie. "What a stupid female. I am your mother. Of course, I'll take you with me." Ding. System task. Host must get the 3 cubs to call you mother. Complete the task to receive a system reward. Task difficulty, 3 stars. Task received. Josie looked at the 3 cubs, but none of them made a sound. So she deliberately put on a stern face and said, "Call me mother." Kiki froze for a moment. Her rosy little lips parted slightly. Finally, she forced out a fake smile and stiffly uttered, "Mother." Josie grinned. She reached out and stroked Kiki's soft little ears. "Kiki is so well behaved." Kiki's face flushed instantly from the touch. She blinked her big eyes at Josie. "The stupid female is acting really weird today. But she kinda likes her like this." Joan snorted. "Kiki, that little traitor, is just putting on an act. He's not calling the stupid female mother." Jolie also stayed silent. Only his gaze at Josie darkened. Josie pouted. Suddenly, she realized why this task was rated 3 stars in difficulty. It made sense. She didn't force them immediately. Instead, she changed the subject. "This place isn't safe yet. Let's get out of here first." Josie sifted through the original host's shallow memories. In them, there was a mention of a mountain forest. They should have gone in that direction behind this iceberg. The iceberg is huge. They walked until dawn, and still couldn't go around it. Josie took out the last of the fish beast and divided it into 4 portions. This was their only food. The little faces of the cubs had turned pale without replenishing some energy soon. Josie feared they wouldn't hold on. "Wait here for mother. I'll see if there's any prey around here." With that, Josie got up and left. The moment she was gone, the cubs stared at the fish meat in their hands without moving. Kiki spoke in a tearful voice, her clear blue eyes growing dim. "I knew she didn't want us anymore." Joan clenched his tiny fists. "She lied to us about not abandoning us." Jolie pursed his lips. His crimson tongue and pupils exuded a suppressed sorrow. But it was soon replaced by indifference. What Josie didn't know was that she had merely gone to search for food, only to be misunderstood by the young ones. She walked across the snow, gazing at the endless expanse of white, with no trace of any living creature in sight. Just as she was about to give up, a tremendous commotion suddenly erupted behind her. Josie hid behind an iceberg, watching the scene unfold not far away, and instantly felt her hair stand on end. On the snow ahead, a towering, golden-furred beast was clamping its jaws around the neck of a deer-like creature. Blood dripped from the deer's neck onto the snow, staining it a vivid crimson. Josie instinctively touched her own neck and swallowed hard. Soon, the deer fell silent in the golden beast's maw. Instead of dragging the carcass away immediately, the golden beast suddenly turned and left. Josie stared at the prey, now within reach, her brows furrowing in conflict. Food was right before her eyes. To take or not to take. If she didn't, her young ones would starve. But if she did, what if the golden beast returned? In the end, desire triumphed over reason. She darted to the deer's side, pulled out an ice blade, and severed one of its legs. Quickly, she buried the severed limb in the snow. Let it freeze. This way, when running later, there won't be blood all over the ground. Then she took out a piece of snow from her body. Put the white fur next to the deer hide. Consider it as payment for this deer leg. The deer leg was frozen. Josie didn't pause for a second. He picked it up and ran straight back. She hasn't been gone for long. The golden tiger beast walked back, approaching the deer beast. The air around him grew heavy and oppressive. A pair of golden eyes, looking at theater, missing a leg. His prey was stolen. He lowered his head and sniffed around. Saw the snow-white animal hide on the ground. The massive tiger paw fiddled with the animal hide for a while. Guess this animal hide was left behind by them. The golden tiger beast's pale golden pupils gleamed with coldness. A piece of tear-stained animal hide was a lit took to trade for one of his deer legs. No one ever asked if he agreed or not. The golden tiger beast picked up that piece of animal hide and was about to toss it away. But after some thought, I still threw it onto my back. Keep it for later, it can track be the scent on the animal hide. Found the ORC that stole its prey. At the same time, Josie also read her Nedto the side of the kids, but noticed that the lean meat of thiefish in their hands hadn't been touched. Look what mommy brought back for you. The little ones were still immersed in sorrow of being abandoned by Josie. Didn't react in time, but it was carrying a deer leg thicker than its waist. Joan's words blurted out. Stupid female, you didn't run. Josie put down the deer leg, gently pat him on the forehead. Rude. Thanks to your damn mother, I braved all dangers to find food. You guys really miss me that much. Joan covered his forehead. Just now, my chest felt strangely stuffy for some reason. Suddenly became lighthearted. It must be because he saw the deer's leg. Bitch, where the fuck did you get this deer's leg from? A pair of big, sparkling eyes. Josie fell silent for a moment. Got it from someone else. The cub traded for with animal hide. After all, still naive. Didn't ask much more. All I know is they have food. Hurry up and eat thiefish and lean meat. We continue on our way. Having food in hand keeps worries at bay. Afraid to start again. Josie felt a little lighter at heart. This deer beast leg is very big. Eat sparingly. They can eat for at least 3 days. Josie thought of the forest where deer beasts were found could have snowy woods, indicating before the cold wave arrives. There were trees. Heading that way should get us out of the ice field. When walking into the snow-covered forest, Josie saw the place where the deer beast had fallen earlier. Blood flowed along that stretch of snow, all the way towards the snow forest. That is to say, just now, that enormous golden tiger beast, most likely in the woods. If you encounter the golden tiger beast, he caught me taking his venison. He doesn't know his own neck. Can you withstand his bite? Wait, we're not going into the woods. It's safer outside. Several little cubs left ice plains for the first time, curious and fearful of the outside world. They all obediently followed beside Josie. At this moment, in the mountain forest, the golden tiger beast is eating the deer beast. Suddenly, he raised his head. A pair of eerie greenies stared back. It's a black-furred, long-toothed beast. The black-furred, long-tusked beast originally intended to launch a sneak attack. After being discovered by the golden tiger beast, he roared angrily. The golden tiger beast pounced forward. The golden tiger beast swiftly engaged in battle. But the black-furred long-tusked beast moved swiftly. In the blink of an eye, he was already behind the golden tiger beast. The golden tiger beast swiftly turned around, intending to attack. The heart suddenly clenched tightly. The pain left him frozen in place. The fangs of the black-furred long-toothed beast, taking advantage of the opportunity, has stabbed into the golden tiger beast's leg. A tiger's roar, echoing across the sky. Josie and her children turned pale. With a horrified gaze, he looked in the direction of the snow-covered forest. The golden tiger beast snapped back to reality here. Overturned the black-furred long-toothed beast. Jumped behind him. Bit his neck. The golden tiger beast exerted force fiercely. When biting off the black-furred long-toothed beast's neck, the heart ached sharply once again. Then everything went black before his eyes. Fell onto the black-furred long-toothed beast. The massive tiger body also turned into a short golden form. The man on the other side. Josie withdrew her gaze. Hurry up and say it quickly. Let's go quickly. The kids were all scared out of their wits. The tiger's roar just now was truly intimidating. It would probably scare the beasts within a radius of several miles. I don't even dare Tokomi over here anymore. Josie looked at the sky. It's almost dark. They need to find a Placido stay as soon as possible. Otherwise, the night to Mempumpeter could freeze them to death. Josie transformed into beast form. Sniffed the surrounding scent. Finally, at the foot of a mountain behind the snowy forest, found a small cave. Enter the cave. Josie warily spread the animal hide on the ground. All of you squeezy onto the animal hide. This is much warmer. The kids are also exhausted, crammed on the animal hide, staring longingly at theater leg on the ground. They are so cold and hungry. Josie was hungry too. He took out the ice skates, cut 3 pieces off meat from the deer's leg. Hand it to them. Hurry up and eat, then get a good night's sleep. Tomorrow we continue our journey. The brats got some meat. He started eating heartily. Josie stared at the bloody meat in front of her, but just couldn't bring myself to say it. He does have the spark now. But now, I don't dare go into Thesnwy woods to gather firewood either. Josie hardened her heart. Cut off a small piece of meat. Put it in your mouth. Flesh and blood mixed with icy cold. A surge of overwhelming bloodlust filled the entire mouth. Josie couldn't hold it in and threw up. The few brats heard the noise. They all looked up in confusion. Mom, what's wrong with you? Kiki looked at Josie, whose face had turned pale, suddenly feeling a bit anxious. Stupid bitch is about to die. Josie shook her head with difficulty, speechless for a moment. So disgusting. Cried for quite a while. He just started speaking. It's nothing, maybe just tired. After saying that, Josie got up and walked out of the cave. The 3 brats exchanged puzzled glances at each other. Big bro, do you think that bitch has gone crazy? Jolie let out a cold snort. Useless, stupid bitch. Josie came back with her hands. A few more dried leaves fell. He carried it over to the kids. Hurry up and drink this water. This is the snow water melted outside with a lighter. Freezing cold. He couldn't bring himself to let the kids chew on ice to quench their thirst. Jojo obediently took a few sips. After drinking, his pair of big azure eyes sparkled brightly. This water is hot. I still want Kikito have another drink. But Jolie pushed him aside. He grabbed Josie's hand. Drinking the water from leaves in big gulps. Joan got anxious seeing this situation. He shoved Jolie aside. Drink all the remaining water. Stupid bitch. I still want to drink. They've been drinking ice water since they were little. Every time after drinking, I feel even colder in my body. It's the first time Eve had hot water. It made them feel warm inside. After speaking, Jonah did not receive a response from Josie. He looked up in confusion, but met with Josie's slightly furrowed brows. For a moment, he was at a loss. What are you looking at? Stupid Jonah hadn't finished speaking yet. Josie pinched the little face. Didn't I tell you? What should you call me? Jonah's little face turned red from being pinched, yet still stubbornly glared with wide eyes. Yes, you. You didn't let you call you a bitch before. Now, they're Makinga's call again. Josie's expression froze. In the past, the original owner was indeed worried about the kids. Wasting time looking for a man. Don't let them call themselves bitches. He reluctantly let go. Jolie, Joan, Kiki's mom has something to say to you all. 3 pairs of eyes gazed at him, each with a different expression. The ice plains are no longer suitable for us to live in. Now, we need to go to a place where we can survive. But now even the mother doesn't know where that place is. The journey ahead. Our whole family must work together with one heart. Just like that water from earlier. I will make sure every one of you beasts gets a drink. So there's no need to fight over anything here with this bitch. The mistress looked completely clueless. I don't know if I can't understand. Because in their consciousness, as a stray beast, if you don't fight for survival, you'll starve to death. And Josie just wanted to tell them the importance of family unity. He divided his portion of venison into 3 parts. Give it to them. Bitch ain't taking this shit. You guys have eaten, right? This time. The 3 little ones didn't immediately go for the deer, lean meat, just stared at Josie in astonishment. Josie didn't look at them again either. He just wants to have a good sleep now. He closed his eyes and collapsed onto the animal hide. The little ones looked at each other in bewilderment. The last 3 little heads huddled together, mumbling and grumbling, no idea what they're discussing. The next day, Josie woke up. After, the sky is about to collapse because his little brats are all gone. He sniffed inside the cave. No smell of wild beast was detected. It shouldn't be a beast that came in and took the cubs away. But the tightly furrowed brow still showed no sign of relaxation. He quickly went outside of the cave to look for what Josie didn't know was. He just left the cave. The little ones kept huffing and puffing, carrying something back into the cave. After the ORCs were put into the cave, the little brats nodded in satisfaction. This should satisfy that stupid bitch. Now, Jolie remained expressionless. Snowy still had food. Let's hurry up and get it back. Soon, the 3 little ones set out again toward the snowy forest. Josie followed Theaked's scent and ran around. No trace of them was found, and their eyes were red with anxiety. Those brats are the greediest eaters. When I woke up in the morning, I found that Lu Shatui was still there. Maybe they'll go back to it when they're hungry. Thinking of this, Josie turned back and returned to the cave. Just walked in. The whole person was stunned. In the cave, a person with short golden hair. From the neck down to long legs, a handsome bear beastman. Lying naked like this in his animal hide. His gaze traced along female ORC's 8-pack abs. Keep going down. Josie covered her eyes into her heart pounding, until carefully covering up each other's taboos. Only then did Josie feel comfortable enough to size him up. His body was covered in wounds. The most severe is in the legs. The wound looks particularly gruesome. Just as Josie couldn't figure it out. Why was he in the cave? And his few cubs are missing. Is it related to him? Footsteps could be heard from behind. Josie turned her head. I saw a few little brats huffing and puffing, carrying the lean venison in. Looking at Josie's shocked expression, Joan raised her little chin proudly. How about it, stupid bitch? Are you satisfied now? Josie had a face full of question marks. Kiki, on the other hand, was grinning cheekily, pointed at the male tiger beastman on the ground. He said, "This is the Malu found for the mother. Does the mother like him or not? Very impressive. We found ourselves in snow-covered forest. He killed a large black-furred beast with long tusks. After the female mated with him, he can protect the mother and us then." Joan nodded in agreement. That's right. You two should hurry up and get together. It'll be troublesome if he wakes up. Josie looked utterly speechless. Suddenly, I feel like my efforts in education over the past 2 days have failed. At that time, it still hadn't been corrected. This time, it even managed to snatch a beast husband back. Josie was talking to the little ones. Did not notice. The male ORC on the beast hide has already woken up. The white-collar worker listened to the conversation between the mother and her 4 children. The golden eyes narrowed coldly. This stray female beast and its cubs caught it when it was severely injured. Still wanted to become its beast husband. How laughable. The golden collar was about to move. It tugged at Thuoun's on his body. It hurt so much. He let out a muffled groan. Slight movement. It immediately caught Jolie's attention. The crimson serpentine eye swiftly glanced toward Jin Ling. Josie also turned around to look at the handsome male in front of her. Jin Lingson stared cold at Josie and the others. Who is it that even with the golden collar executive severely injured? But his aura is too overpowering. Kiki was so scared that she hid behind Jojo. Joan was also very scared. The previous haughty attitude was completely gone. But he is a real man with stands tall and firm. How can you hide behind a woman? He mustered his courage and stepped forward. Hey Emph, what a big macho man. From now on, you'll be the dumb bitch's partner. Jin Ling's handsome face revealed a chilling coldness. I won't be the beastly father to your bitch mother. Josie never thought about becoming a couple with him. But hearing him express blatant disdain, still feeling pissed off. I don't need you to be my beast dad either. It was my cub who found you in the snow forest. Take you here. To spare you from being devoured by other beasts. You should thank my kids, instead of looking down on us here. The white-collar worker froze. He was astonished. Under his deliberate release of an overwhelming aura. This looks very thin and small. The not-so-clean female actualities to confront directly. He's actually got more guts than those females in the tribe. Golden Collar shifted his gaze. Fell into the corner. The partially eaten leg of the deer beast. This deer beast leg. It was the one that was stolen from him. Jin Ling's gaze toward Josie turned cold again. Sure enough, it's a stray beastman. No trace of beastliness whatsoever. To thank them. Take me to the cave, that deer beast's leg. Consider it a thank you gift. Josie followed Golden Collar's line of sight. After confirming that Gold Collar was referring to that deer leg from yesterday, his expression changed. The handsome male tiger beastman in front of me. It was the golden tiger beast that hunted the deer beast yesterday. Josie was speechless. He had the awkward feeling of being caught red-handed stealing. Back then, I left behind a piece of animal hide. The Golden Collar let out a cold laugh. Did you get my permission? The 3 little brats watched as Josie and Jin Ling went back and forth. They seemed to be getting along quite well. I carried the Golden Collar back myself. The behavior is even more satisfying. Last night, they saw Josie take a bite off venison and immediately spit it out. They unanimously agreed that it was stupid. Female urgently needs a strong male to take care of her. Otherwise, he might very well die. The few brats all disliked Josie, though. But none of them want him to die. Just happened to meet Jin Ling when I went to Snowy Woods. Just bring him back to Josie. The white-collar worker noticed Josie's awkward expression. I feel he's not completely rotten yet. Before my injury heals, I'll stay in Thishel for the time being. This is clearly the cave we found first. Josie felt that Thizmail was of dubious origin. What if it's bad for him and those few brats? Unexpectedly, the next second, the Golden Collar threw the animal hide left by Josie earlier at him. That deer leg is your compensation. Josie glanced at the deer beast that Zai had carried back. Although this male looks badly injured, but staying with him in the cave still carries considerable risk. Just a single deer leg in exchange. He's not happy about it. Not enough. I want half of all your prey. Upon hearing this, the Golden Collar replied. His golden pupils slowly narrowed into vertical slits. An overwhelming, oppressive force surged toward Josie. Josie could barely breathe, but he still straightened his back. Looked straight into the Golden Collar's eyes. A moment later, The golden collar suddenly withdrew the aura he had intentionally released. He had a heart attack, almost unable to move. These stray beasts are forcibly occupying all the prey. He can't stop it either. Promise them at least half will still be good. Josie was afraid that Jin Ling would go back on his word. After negotiating with Jin Ling, he immediately took a few kids and headed into the snowy forest. When he saw that black-furred, long-tusked beast, half buried in the snowy forest, the shock in my eyes is simply impossible to suppress. He had never seen such a huge wild boar with long tusks. A volume as large as the elephant in his perception. Very girly. What are you still standing there for? Hurry up and come over. Come get the prey. Josie snapped out of it. Wait a minute, come here. I'll start by skinning it. The golden leader agreed to give them half of the food, but it did not clearly specify the ownership of the prey's fur. The black-furred, long-tusked best's pelt is large and warm. With it tonight, it and the child will no longer be shivering from the cold. Soon, Josie neatly folded the separated fur. Then, use the ice blade to cut lean meat into small pieces. You guys carry this meat back first. The mother is guarding over here. The three little ones carried the meat and walked towards the cave. Josie was on a break from guard duty. By the way, gather firewood in the snowy forest. He must have a bite off hot grilled meat tonight. The four of them kept coming and going until night fell. Finally got all the separated pieces of meat. They all carried it back into the cave. Jin Ling looked at Josie's face, reddened from the cold. The cold and stern expression in his eyes softened slightly. Because, in his understanding, the females in the tribe never take the initiative to do anything. They're all waiting for females to take care of them. People like Josie, who handle everything personally, are extremely rare. Josie knew Jin Ling was sizing him up with a scrutinizing gaze, but he couldn't be bothered. After catching his breath, Josie stood up. Pile half of the prey next to Golden Collar. This half is yours. Golden Collar saw they divided it very fairly. They even gave him a little extra. The look in her eyes softened a little more when she turned to him. The cave isn't big. Josie could only stay in the cave. Find a seat as far away from Golden Collars as possible. Stack the few stones you picked up. Joan and the others were already starving, their stomachs practically sticking to their backs. He grabbed the pile of lean venison by the side and was about to eat it. But the meat hadn't reached his mouth yet. Was stopped by Josie. Wait, Joan glared angrily at Josie. Stupid female, there's already so much food here. You still want to snatch me away? Josie saw that he had misunderstood. Explain that the mother hen won't snatch yours, but to cook the meat properly for you. Joan's angry, witties filled with confusion. What do you mean by getting familiar? We've always eaten like this. Josie knows. They have been eating raw food since they were young. Not even seen fire before. It's normal not to understand what cooked food is. You'll know once someone finishes it. Josie took the meat from his hand. Cut the meat into slices one by one. Didn't notice at all. The golden gleam in Jin Ling's golden eyes shifted. The white-collar worker was indeed very surprised. Surprised that Josie actually knows how to cook food properly. This is something only the ORCs from it to large-sized tribes would do. Many small tribes. Even now, raw food remains the main staple. How did a female stray beast like him know? Josie picked up the branches she found. After placing it in toth stack stones, take out the lighter and light it. The moment sparks flew out. The three little ones were so scared that they immediately turned around and ran to the cave entrance, looking at him with terrified eyes. Stupid bitch, what do you want? At this very moment, the elf also ignited the branch at the same moment as Josie. Sit up straight. Eyes filled with shock. You've got a spark on you. Josie knew that having fire would surprise them. But I didn't expect them to react so strongly. He said with a straight face that it was bestowed upon him by the beast god. All beastmen worship the beast god, whether they believe it or not. Anyway, he just suborned Listix to this claim. The elf frowned. He knew Josie wasn't telling the truth. But he also didn't expect a female stray beast. Where can I obtain fire? Josie turned her gaze to the three little ones in the blink of an eye. Don't be afraid. Fire, as long as it can properly control, won't hurt us anymore. To prove what they said, Josie skewered the sliced venison onto tree branches, put on the hot seat. The aroma of grilled meat soon wafted out. The heart smells the aroma of meat. The throat instinctively dived as well. Kiki twitched her delicate little nose, looking on helplessly. The barbecue in Josie's hand. In the end, hunger overcame his fear of fire. He cautiously moved behind Josie. Mommy smells so good. Josie blew on a skewer off roasted venison to cool it down. Pass it to him to try and see if it's tasty. Kiki smelled the aroma of venison, greedily took a bitty off a piece of meat. One bite and it's gone. It directly conquered Kiki's taste buds. So delicious. Seeing my little sister eat happily, Joan couldn't help but rush over as well. Want to get the barbecue in Kiki's hands. But he had just reached out his hand. The little hand froze mid-air. Joan suddenly remembered the time he snatched water to drink. Josie's stern gaze. But now, he really wants to eat grilled meat right away. He stared eagerly at Kiki, the grilled meat in hand. There's only one piece left before it's all gone. Joan was anxious to take action again. A skewer of steaming hot grilled meat was shoved into his hand. There's still a lot more. You all can eat it. Joan looked at the barbecue and couldn't wait to stuff it into his mouth. However, the barbecue is too hot. Joan was so scalded they kept hopping on his feet. But still can't bear to spit out the meat in my mouth. Seeing this, Josie reminded, be careful. The food coming off the grill will burn your mouth. Blow on it before eating. Saying, Josie handed another skewer off grilled meat to Jolie. Jolie has a cold personality. Even if craving barbecue badly, the little face wouldn't show too much expression. He took the grilled meat and blew on it. Swallowed it in one gulp. The barbecue is delicious. But the expression on his little face remained cold. The three little ones took bite after bite. Josie saw that their bellies were all round and bulging. They won't be able to eat anymore. Eating too much can easily cause indigestion. The three little ones got sleepy after eating their fill. Look, they all closed their eyes. Josie finally sat down, set aside half of the grilled meat from the leaf, put it in front of golden collar. The white collar worker was somewhat surprised. Unexpectedly, Josie was actually willing to share the barbecue with him. This is for. Would you be willing to share some food with us as thanks? The food smelled really good just now when Gold Collar took a whiff. He took the grilled meat. He took out another piece off her meat and gave it to him. I don't need a femaleto provide for me. Josie didn't hold back either. Take it if it's free. Pretty much. We exchange equally. Josie took the meat and returned to sit by the fire, start eating barbecue. After he finished the remaining barbecue, just put out the fire, lay down next to the little ones. On the other side, the manager picked up a piece of grilled meat, eat it into the mouth, crispy on the outside and tender on the inside, better than anything he's had before. He gave Josie a deep look. This female is really not the same. After eating, he glanced at his injured leg, frowned. The wound on his leg was still too severe. I'm afraid it won't be able to recover in a short time. He grabbed the animalhide skirt from the ground, torn into strips, then simply bandaged the wound on the leg. However, injuries and heartbreak left his beast spirit wounded. Just finished banding the wound, he warily closed his eyes. In a dream, Josie could feel the breathing by her ear growing heavier and more ragged. He woke up with a start. He reached out and gently to shed the sleeping little ones beside him. Make sure they don't have any abnormalities. He just turned his gaze toward the direction where the elf was, thinking to oneself, Do male ORCs always breatheth this loudly when they sleep? He was about to close his eyes and go back to sleep. I noticed that the voice didn't sound quite right. After some thought, he still got up and groped his way over in the dark, near Golden Collar. He softly said, "Hey, are you okay?" No response from the other party. Josie frowned. Male ORCs don't appeal to me. But extremely sharp. He was already so close. He still hasn't responded. Something must have gone wrong. Josie lit the fire by the side of Jin Ling. The faint halo illuminated Jin Ling's tightly closed eyes. Josie leaned in closer. She reached out and touched his forehead. "It's so hot, I'm burning up." Josie glanced at his leg. The wound on the body. It was simply wrapped with animal hide strips. Handling it this way doesn't have any therapeutic effect at all. But he had no medicine in his hands. There's no way to treat his illness either. But he couldn't just stand by and do nothing either. After all, he did take hold of someone else's prey. After some thought, Josie still got up and walked out of the cave. When he came back, he was holding a large handful of blood. He covered him with extra animal hides. The blood in his hand was smeared under his armpit and on the neck and forehead. Applying it to these areas can help cool down faster. Josie wiped him down when 5 stars were found in his right shoulder. He was utterly shocked. He actually has a 5-star beast soul. This level is rare even for medium-sized tribes. I don't even know where he came from. Josie kept moving her hands without stopping, going back and forth between inside and outside the cave. It's just to cool down the elves. Watching as his burning temperature gradually cooled down, Josie also yawned tiredly, just about to get up and go back to sleep by the kid's side. Squatting for too long, my legs went numb. He just woke up. He toppled over Themant. He leaned sideways, pounced on the golden collar worker. Josie's face bumped into his chest. My nose kept tingling with the sour sensation. How come this male orc's muscles are so damn hard? Just as he was groping in the dark, trying to get up. What the hell is this bitch doing the next second? Down went Josie, directly flung to the ground by him. My ass is about to break from the fall. Jin Ling's gaze was cold and stern as he looked at Josie. He didn't expect Josie to take the opportunity to climb on top of him. "It's best to give up the idea of making me your beast husband." Josie was instantly furious upon hearing this. "Who asked you to be my beast husband? It was you who had a high fever last night. I kindly used my blood to cool you down. This is how you repay me." The elf's gaze remained unchanged, obviously not believing Josie's words. "I don't need you to do anything for me. No good deed goes unpunished." Josie read her Nedto's eye angrily. "Just sat down or just sat down." Turning around, I met Jolie Elian's disdainful crimson eyes. "Useless, stupid female." At this moment, Joan also sat up, his eyes bleary with sleep. "The male is already injured. You can't even handle it. Beastmen have very sharp senses. The kids just heard what happened earlier." In their eyes, Josie just wants to force herself on the golden collar elite. But it didn't succeed. Josie had no way to defend herself. "I was treating him." The 3 little brats rolled their eyes at him in unison. Then he turned over and went back to sleep. "It's not me, it's you guys." "Bitch. How could you not believe in my noble, beastly character? What is a female beast product?" Kiki, looking obedient, turned her head. Her azure eyes were brimming with a thirst for knowledge. "Can't. Bitch, behave. Can't eat. We don't want it." Josie covered her face in frustration. Golden Collar listened to the conversation between the mother and her 4 beasts. The corners of the lips grew increasingly tense. But he soon noticed something unusual. The gold collar worker reassured it and touched his neck. Got a handful of bloody scabs. Hand moves downward to grope, armpit and inner thigh. These places are all covered in blood clots. That female just said he has a fever. He's using blood to cool him down. The white-collar worker thought about himself in his sleep. Breathing through the nose really feels as uncomfortable as breathing fire. Could what he said be true? Len looked at Josie. Even if the cave is dimly lit, he could also clearly see him curled up in the animal hide. Slender body. Based on the temperament of stray beasts, he shouldn't be wishing for his death. Then take over all his food? The elf was puzzled. I also think Josie is a stray beast. He's seen a bit different. Josie woke up. It was already broad daylight outside. As soon as he opened his eyes, he locked gazes with him. 3 pairs of eager eyes stared into his big ones. Mom, you're finally up. If you don't get up now, I almost thought you were dead. Josie saw the little one so heartbroken. He quickly got up and held Kiki, calling her name softly and gently. Don't cry. Mom is just too tired. Slept a bit late. Looks like his education of the kids these past few days has been useful. Everyone knows to care about him. Mom, hurry up and grill some meat for us, okay? Josie lowered her head, seeing the pure and bright smile in Kiki's eyes. A hint of emotion that had just risen from the depths of the heart. Gone in an instant. He still thought they were worried that something might happen to him. Turns out they were just afraid no one would grill meat for them. Since I'm hungry myself. Josie still got up to cut the meat. Just finished eating barbecue. Joan, his little face flushed red with frustration, dashed toward the cave entrance. Just rushed out. Josie heard his childish exclamation. What's wrong? Josie stood up and walked to the cave entrance. The whole beast was stunned. The cave that was freely accessible last night. Today, the snow had already piled up half the height of the cave entrance. Joan had long since vanished into the snow, gone without a trace. How did the snow suddenly get so thick? Josie walked outside the cave. The snow was so thick it had already reached above his thighs. The kids walked out. The snow was almost over their heads. The most terrifying thing is that it's still snowing outside. In previous years, it never snowed this heavily. This is extremely cold. Josie turned her head. A bit surprised. Kim would pick up on his words. Seeing his surprised look, a strange glint flashed through the golden eyes of Jin Ling. Last night I misunderstood you. Sorry, Josie. Didn't expect that. He will apologize immediately after realizing his mistake. This made him feel displeased. Outward, the white-collar worker toned it down a bit. I'm beautiful, generous, and big-hearted. Not gonna bother with an ignorant male like you. The golden collar looked at this dirt-covered, smiling face. Speechlessly averted gaze. What did you mean by extreme cold just now? Jin Ling looked at the snow piled up at the entrance of the cave. His expression darkened somewhat. During extreme cold, it will be colder than previous cold days. The snow will also fall heavier. Just this level. It's only just the beginning. Hearing it is just the beginning. Josie's heart is broken. My heart sank. It's only just started snowing and it's already this thick. If this goes on, they'll just be trapped here to die. No way, gotta figure out how to get out of here. It seems to see through what Josie is thinking. The golden collar spoke calmly. You can't get out. Meeting Josie's puzzled gaze, golden collar continued. The entrance of the caveware is quite high up. But the snow had already buried nearly half of the cave entrance. The path below the cave entrance has deeper snow accumulation. You can only go up the mountain if you want to leave. But the mountains are full of fierce beasts. Josie thought of that black-furred, long-toothed beast. If they run into them, what does he have to walk away unscathed? We can't get away. You're no good either? Jin Ling lowered his eyes and did not answer. Just took a deep breath. He started coughing violently. The injury on his leg is secondary. The worst part was the sharp pain in his heart. Let him sit here and wait for death. I can't let Zaza wait here to die with me. Josie finished speaking, then turned and walked out of the cave. Since staying is just waiting for death anyway, might as well go all out. The golden collar worker watched Josie's receding figure, quickly submerge it in the heavy snow. But just as I moved, a sharp pain shot through the chest. It made his vision go dark. The body fell back again. Josie walked out of the cave. Nearly half of the body was submerged in the heavy snow. Looking around, everywhere is a vast expanse of snow. The stone that was still visible yesterday, everything is gone today. Turn around and look up at the cave. Not even a single rock can be seen. It's simply impossible to estimate how thick is the snow clinging to the rock. Josie transformed into his beast form and headed up the mountain. I had barely taken a few steps when he was so cold that his whole body went stiff. No choice but to revert to my original form. Return to the cave to start a fire and warm up. Mom, are we never jetting out of here? Looking at such thick snow, Kiki's pretty little braid swayed uneasily. Josie whispered soothingly, "You must be hungry, right? Mom will grill some meat for you first." Josie has. He was absent-mindedly in all the meat. After baking. Still no sign of those two brats, Joan and Jolie, coming back. Josie walked to the entrance of the cave. Joan and Jolie are back for dinner. He called out a few times. There was no response from outside. Just now, the two little rascals said they needed to pee and went out. Why did it take so long? Josie was worried in her heart, and walked into the snow, gazing at the vast expanse of white snow. Josie's heart was racing. Joan felt a bit uncomfortable in his stomach when he woke up in the morning. He immediately rushed outside to find a place to take care of it. But he just ran too hard. Knocked down a lot of snow from the mountains. The snow completely buried him head to toe. He could only find his way back to the cave through the snow, but didn't realize they had already gone too far. "Where are you? No matter which way you go, I can't get out." Joan was freaking out inside. "Stupid bitch Jojo. Jolie, where are you guys? 5 stupid females. I'm scared." Running around like a headless fly has already exhausted him. He slumped down in the snowdrift. The little face was filled with despair. The icy chill of accumulated snow. It also helps the Lidion's temperature drop quickly. The eyelids also became incredibly heavy. He's back in the ice plains. He saw that female polar bear hold his baby in his arms. The little white bear cub looks so cozy. So happy back then, was so curious. Is the embrace of a mother really that warm? But his mother would never hold him. "Mommy, I'm so cold. Want a hug?" Just as Joan was about to close his eyes, suddenly, the top of my head lit up. A pair of slightly cold hands pulled him out of the thick snow. "Finally found you. Joan, you scared the shit out of me." Joan was so cold, he was almost losing consciousness. Suddenly pulled into a warm embrace. He tightly closed his eyes. "Hey Emph." She burrowed into Josie's arms with a whimper. "Mommy, can you hold me please?" Feeling the Lidion's dependence and longing for Josie, my heart is melting. He held the Lidion tightly in his arms, kissed his cold little cheek. "The bitch is here. It's fine." The gentle voice completely disered Joan's defenses. Passed out. Josie saw Joan faint. "I'm so anxious I can't stand it. Want to carry him back to the cave first." Yet still worried about Jolie. He could only wrap Joan tightly in the animal hide coat. Keep looking for Jolie. Josie hadn't been gone for long. I saw Jolie collapse in the snowdrift. The snow had completely buried him. If it weren't for the tail he exposed, he can't see anything. After he pulled Jolie out of the snowdrift, I just realized his foot was crushed. The mind is diffrozen into a daze. The mother's crimsonies were tightly shut, muttering something under his breath. "Don't be afraid. The bitch is here." Ding! Congratulations, host, on completing the second mission. The cubs all successfully called for their mother. Please accept the system assigned reward. Josie saw the void-like surroundings. A box appeared. The box opens. Inside is a golden pill. What is Host. This is the cure-all pill. No matter what the illness is, it can be quickly cured. Can it bring Theted back to life? To receive the system's approval, Josie then put the medicine into the system space. Josie had just returned to the cave. Kiki saw Jolie's blood-stained leg. Turned pale with fright. Don't even think of booth meat in your hands. Panicking, he ran over and hugged Josie's leg, pitifully begging, "Mommy, please, I beg you. Don't throw away the older brother and the younger brother." Josie's footsteps came to a sudden halt. No wonder Kiko would think that way. In the past, the three little ones, whether injured or sick and unwell, the garden owner would always threaten to throw them away. Do not allow them to return to the ice cave to rest, afraid they would die in Thigh's cave and bring bad luck. This also led to the three little ones, whether sick or injured, will immediately hide away, without Josie noticing. It's precisely because, afraid of being dumped by him, Josie carefully placed Julie and Joan, place it on the animal hide. Still didn't forget to comfort Kiki. "Won't. Mom said she wouldn't leave any one of you behind." Joan's body was slightly hypothermic. Josie glanced in the direction of Jin Ling. He was leaning against the stone wall, with his eyes closed, resting. He turned his back and began to undo his animal hide shirt. What Josie didn't know was, at the moment he turned around, Jin Ling opened her eyes. He was actually a bit confused. Judging from the conversation spewed these kids and Josie, their relationship didn't seem to be good. Jojo is more like an irresponsible more to her cub. But judging from Josie's performance, it seems that's not the case after all. Doubts when getting the marriage certificate. Just saw Josie take off the animal hide clothing. Beneath the grime-stained bespoken garment, her skin was as white as snow. Jin Ling only felt a sharp pain in her chest. It hurt so much he hissed in a sharp breath. He nervously closed his eyes. And with her back turned, Josie, no idea what the hell is going on. He unbuttoned the animal skin garment. She picked up Joan. Then he tied him to himself with animal hide straps. I plan to use my own body heat to warm him up slowly. After tying up Joan securely, he had just a rivet in front of Jolie. Checked the injury on his foot. He touched Jolie's foot. Make sure he didn't hurt his bones. It was after suffering spuperical injuries. He then carefully used the beast strip. Bandage his wound. The wound had just been bandaged. Jolie woke up. The little one was fly confused before. Instantly became alert. He quickly got up. But as soon as I moved, it tugged at the wound on my foot. He groaned in pain. Josie hurriedly helped steady him. Stop moving around. Mom just bandaged the wound on your foot. Jolie kept a straight face and tried to push him away. But I simply couldn't muster any strength in my hands. Just a little scratch. I'm fine. Jolie kept a cold expression on his face. He would never show weakness in front of Josie. Give him a reason to abandon himself. Alright, our Jolie is the best. A little scratch is nothing at all. Jolie gritted his teeth. Turn away her little face and not look at him. Puffing out her little chest, she limped to the side and sat down. Josie saw that he was indeed not seriously hurt. This just put the already-dickled meat back on the fire. Reheat. The aroma of barbecue wafted out. Joan's delicate little nose twitched. Yo-Yo slowly opened her light brown, fox-like eyes. Realizing he was in Josie's embrace, Joan was completely stunned. After coming to my senses, he struggled excitedly. Stupid female. Why are you tying me up? Put me down. Josie is grilling meat. Joan moved. The meat in my hand fell into the fire. Don't move yet, the bitch will let you down in a moment. Joan felt that something was off with his entire body. This was the first time truly felt it so vividly. Josie's embrace. So warm and a little soft. Just like the embrace of a mother he had imagined. When he was little, he also longed for. She actively threw herself into Josie's arms. But the next moment pushed him away, and said to him viciously, only food could be held in his embrace. He doesn't want to become his food. Josie just thought Joan was hungry. Hurry up and untie the animalhide strips on your body. Put him down. Got freedom. Joan ran to Kiki's side. Stay the hell away from Josie. Josie was somewhat helpless. The meat is all grilled and ready. Eat up. Josie once again divided their remaining meat into two halves. Half of it was brought by Jin Ling, watching Josie walk into the golden collar. Very surprised. Can I ask you something? Not asking in vain, Thuhite collar worker snaps out of it. Ask him if something's up. Using barbecue as airword is reasonable. Go ahead and ask. How far it is from here to the nearest tribe? How long do we have to go? Crossing 3 snowy mountains. Crossing an icy river will lead you to the black market division. Do you know how to get there? The golden collar worker frowned. That makes it easy then. Josie moved a step closer to him. The golden collar looked at his filthy, a little face, almost unrecognizable from its original appearance. Unconsciously, I thought of those fair, plump shoulders. A sharp, unusual pain pierced through my chest again. The gold collar worker leaned back slightly, quickly distancing yourself from him. What do you want to do? Josie forced a smile onto her face. I want to make a deal with you. What golden collar? He looked puzzled. I'll cure you. Hurt you escort the 4 of us, mother and children, to the black market tribe. Jin Ling was stunned. Then he laughed. Why don't you believe me? The term gold collar indeed carries the implication of mocking him for overestimating his abilities. But more so, it's a bitter smile at my own situation. His heartache has no cure. In the past, it was still possible to suppress it with sufficient black medicine. Lately, the episodes have been happening more and more frequently. Zhu once said, when the frequency of heart attacks reaches half a day per occurrence, that's his death day. Now, the frequency of his heart condition episodes has reached once a day. How could a female stray beast possibly cure him? You can't cure me. You never know until you try. If there's a choice, Josie simply wasn't willing to discuss this deal with the white-collar elite, because he has to bear greater risks. But he has no choice now. The sea of Lerninja's vast and boundless. He had no choice but to go all out. Staying here is just waiting to die anyway. Believe me, this time. I don't know if it's because Josie's gaze was too sincere. Jin Ling nodded as if possessed by some supernatural force. All right, let me get ready. I can cure you. Josie wasn't stupid enough to take out the medicine directly. After saying that, he got up and returned to Zai's side. Let them sleep. When Jin Ling woke up, I can no longer sense Josie and the others' presence. He opened his eyes. The gaze swept around the cave. The golden iris insistently darkened. A hint of intense self-mockery also surfaced in his eyes. The cave was empty at this moment. There's nothing at all. Even his half-offed food was gone. They left and took his prey with them. At the very beginning, he shouldn't have Chicento trust that woman. The stray beast Jin Ling closed his eyes. Upon learning that his heart ailment was incurable, he had thought about his own ending. It's just about finding a deserted place, silently dying. He had already made up his mind. But when I heard that woman say she could cure him last night, he was still foolish lighting onto hope. Just as Jin Ling was in utter despair, a familiar voice rang out. You're awake. Themiat's just been grilled. Hurry up and eat. Jin Ling suddenly opened his eyes. Shocked, he looked at Josie. You didn't leave, Josie. Let his reaction. Some doubts. What's wrong? Is Thuound bothering you? I'm already making the medicine for you. Wait a sec, it'll be ready soon. The manager's gaze remained fixed on Josie, being stared at Bisik, a handsome man. Josie's old face turned red, but he quickly remembered the dirt on his face, calmed down again. Even in the beast world where females are scarce, the male with this 5-star beast soul before my eyes. Nor can it lack the admiration of beautiful females. Most likely he thinks she's already slipped away. Josie thought about it more and more, and the possibility seemed increasingly likely. Don't worry, since I've already promised to cure you. Won't go back on my word. I woke up early in the morning. Just took the little ones outside and built a snow cave. I want to grill all the meat until it's cooked. This way, it'll be more convenient on the road. The roasted meat no longer has the smell of blood. It's not easy to attract fierce beasts either. I haven't grilled your portion of meat yet. If you're not willing. My mind snapped back to reality. A strange warmth welled up in the depths of my heart. I'm willing to keep him tightly locked in the depths of my heart and mind. You can deal with Thepri however you want. Oh, then I'll wait for the next roast. You eat first. I'll go prepare the medicine for you. Josie put down the meat, then turned around and left the cave. Golden Collar looked at. The golden eyes of Kaoru flashed with a strange brilliance. Outside the cave, the 3 Lidiones were guarding the ice house. Looking at the barbecue on the rack. They are not as afraid of fire as they were yesterday. Bold Jolie even dared to grill the meat himself. Josie melted the ice cubes. Then wrap it up with leaves. Then take the mediciniate of the system space. Put it in the sauce. You all watch the barbecue carefully. Mom will be back soon. Kiki watched as Josie once again carried a pile of leaves into the cave. The beautiful laser eyes blinked. Brother, do you think that stupid female is really into that big male? He'll have other babies with the alpha male later. Are you just going to abandon us? Joan was immersed in the aroma of grilled meat. Hearing Kika say that so abruptly, angry enough to make the little braid stand on end. Then I'll do it tonight. Just throw that big macho into the snow pile. Jolie calmly flipped the barbecue. He'll die on his own. Kiki and Joan looked at each other in bewilderment. He is a 5-star beast soulmaster. How could he die? Jolie placed the grilled meat onto the leaf. Crimson serpent eyes. With a maturity that didn't match his age. In the morning, I smelled the stench of death on him. Before, he had also been on the dying ORCs. I've smelled this scent before. So he concluded that Jin Ling was about to die. Enter the cave. Josie mixed the juice with the dissolved potion. Take it to the Golden Collar. Then drinking it will make you better. Golden Collar ceased juice is very thick. I can only detect a faint scent of fresh grass. I don't even know what it is. He didn't hesitate either. Drank the juice in one gulp. To be at the moment of entry. A surge of cool energy instantly burst through his crown. Afterwards, it coursed through his entire body. A sudden, unbearable, sharp pain shot through the chest. Josie looked at him. His face turned pale in an instant. Also got scared. How are you? Jin Ling felt a surge of blood rushing to her head. Immediately after, a mouthful of blood spurted out. Jin Ling fainted. Josie reached out and checked Jin Ling's pulse. Damn it, out of breath. Josie saw it. Urgent call system. System, get the hell out here. Didn't you say that medicine called cure all diseases? How did the ORC get killed? Host, don't rush. Let me check for you. Wait a sec. The system voice had just sounded. This golden tiger beastman had previously suffered severe injuries to his heart meridian. After the drug takes effect, I'll help him rebuild his meridians, so it looks like the heart stopped beating. Wait for him to successfully build his heart meridian. He'll wake up then. Hearing the system's explanation, Josie finally felt relieved. Not dead yet. While waiting for the fairy to wake up, Josie didn't leave either. In case of unexpected situations, it didn't take long. A golden light burst forth from the elf's body. The place bathed in golden light. The wounds are healing at a speed visible to the naked eye. Josie widened her eyes in shock. This pill is way too strong. Even the gaping, flesh-torn wound on his leg. and has completely recovered as before. Soon, Jin Ling opened his eyes. I feel my body enveloped in a warm current. The originally dull and lifeless beast pattern on the hand. It was as if it had been coated in a layer of bright gold, shining bright liven in the dim cave. He stood up. The gilded eyes also became dazzlingly brilliant at this moment. Is your injury completely healed? Golden Collar took a deep breath. I can't feel the stabbing pain in my chest at all. He looked at Josie in disbelief. Josie suddenly felt a bit unsure. What if this guy changes his mind? Thanks, my body has fully recovered. I will do everything in my power to escort you to the Blackstone tribe. As a token of gratitude. Josie heard the fairy's assurance, quietly let out a sigh. This male beast has good character. My name is Josie. The two elves reached an agreement. Josie's restless heart settled down a little. Jin Ling walked to the cave entrance scene, looked at the situation outside. The snow is getting heavier and heavier. Can't afford to lay here any longer. We'll set off early tomorrow morning. Josie nodded in agreement. Alright, I'll go find firewood. After Jin Ling exited the cave, Josie turned around and went back into the ice cave. Just walked in. He saw 3 pairs of big eyes staring at him. Just now, they saw Jin Ling walk out of the cave completely unharmed. Even the aura of death around him has vanished. They are all very curious. But they're still too young. This doubt didn't linger in my mind for long. Was cast aside. Is that big malabastard coming with us? He will escort us to the nearest tribe. Let's hurry up and grill all the meat. Get up early tomorrow for the journey. Raw meat is abundant. It was already evening, and half-offed meat still hadn't been grilled yet. Josie saw that the 3 Lidiones had all laid down to sleep. He took out the bone knife. Sliced the remaining meat. Before the manager comes back. He took the partially grilled meat. All were placed into the void space. The stored meat can serve as their final safeguard. When the manager came back, holding a large bunleaf branches in their arms. Is this enough? Josie nodded. Enough, you should rest now. White-collar workers have no rest. But walked up to him instead. I can help. Josie looked up in surprise. You won't go viral? Golden Collar shakes head. Used it before. Josie knows. Ordinary small tribes don't have many ORCs who can use fire. But he didn't press further. After all, they are now just mutual security partners. There's no need to dig into the other person's background. But it seems the heart doesn't think so. Where's your beast husband? Why aren't you with them? In the beast world, males' aerial duty bound to protect females. Even if Josie is a stray beast. But it is also female. After forming a partner contract with beast husband, males should also fulfill the responsibility to take care of it. Josie didn't even look up. I don't have a beast husband. This response was something the manager didn't anticipate. It was clearly in its hair. Saw different colors. It's a symbol of his mating with males. How could there not be? The beast-bellied elf coldly think of one possibility. It was a male stray beast that snatched you away, forcing you to have babies. But the elf quickly denied this claim. Because he was on Josie's body, smelled the scent of exile flowers. There are 2 types of stray beasts in the beast chamber. One is being pursued by various tribes, or the sin beasts exiled from Beast City. These sin beasts, when they were exiled, will be fed the exile flower. The exiled flower will merge into the bloodline of the sin beast. Their descendants will also carry the lingering scent of the exile flower. There is also a type of stray beast. It's because they were expelled due to disability. Although they do not carry the scent of exile flowers on them, but they will have obvious physical disabilities. It's also very easy to tell apart. Josie carries the scent of exile flowers. He has the bloodline of a stray beast. No male has forced me. My babies were all born by my own choice. Josie didn't want Golden Collar to find out. His 3 kids were all born from males he forced to bear them. This isn't exactly something to be proud of. Golden Collar could tell that Josie didn't want to talk about it. Did not continue to press for an answer, but helped him grill all the remaining meat. The next day arrived quickly. When I opened my eyes again, it was already broad daylight outside. Josie sat up. Every hair on Mibity stood on end. The golden collar is missing. The white collar worker wouldn't they've bailed with the money, would they? Josie jumped up from the animal hide mat in an instant, running out of the cave. Just rushed to the cave entrance. I bumped right into a tall figure. Josie blinked. He still thought the golden tea with meat had run off. Realizing that I had misunderstood him, I'm also a bit embarrassed. I was just anxious to come out and see what's going on outside. The white-collar worker didn't doubt his words. The snow accumulation in the morning was thicker than last night. The food is already here. It's all set up. Are Reu and the kids ready? We can set off now. Josie went back to the cavito wake up all the little ones. The kids know we have hit the road today. After eating the barbecue, they all behaved very well. Following Josie, they walked out of the cave. The golden collar watched them walk out. He also turned into a golden tiger beast. Bring the little ones up here. After transforming into a beast form, the golden collar, even when lying down, he's still tall. Josie was holding a few little ones. They took turns sitting in Jin Ling's lap. Watch them sit properly. The golden collar worker then wrapped the dried meat in animal hide. Put it on the back. He is very tall and slim. Even if the snow is very thick, it barely covered less than a third of his body. It wasn't too difficult to walk. The higher they climbed up the mountain, Jonesie's vision grew ever wider. Looking down from the mountain, everywhere is a vast expanse of snow white. Lifeless. Josie didn't dare to think. If there were no golden collars, how the hell is he supposed to get kids out of this godforsaken place? There's a vent ahead. All of you, get down on the ground. Hold on to my golden collar. The words were just spoken. A cold gust of wind suddenly blew in. Take a look at yourselves. Hold on tight. The kids listened to Josie's words. Quickly lowered his body. The wind is too strong. We need to speed up and rush over. Otherwise, it's very dangerous. Golden Collar was previously afraid of the turbulence affecting Josie and the others. So I didn't walk too fast. But the cold wind will grow stronger and stronger. The slower the speed, they will be in greater danger. We're fine. Soon after crossing half of the snowy mountain, Josie clearly sensed the cold wind has died down a lot compared to before. After we descend from this snowy mountain, is it possible to leave the boundary of the ice field now? The white collar worker fell silent. It won't be this cold on Sue go down the mountain. There will also be much less snow accumulation. The two were just talking. Jin Ling suddenly missed a step underfoot. The body is rapidly falling downward. Josie exclaimed in surprise. With a sweep of her hand, she scooped all three little ones into her arms. Jin Ling's golden eyes gleamed. Chen Feng's sharp claws tried to pierce into the stone walls on both sides. But it turned out that the walls on both sides weren't frozen stone at all, but accumulated snow. Hold me tight. The golden collar worker let out a low growl. Streaks of golden lightning from its claws spreading out. The impact knocked the snow off the cliff. Snow falls quickly. Finally, the stone wall was revealed. Kim stretched his claws to their fullest length. The sharp claw tips scraped against the stone wall, slowed their falling speed. But the stones on the cliff suddenly loosened. The golden collar worker's boat also rapidly plummeted downward. Josie and the little one stumbled down to the bottom of the cave. Josie shielded the little ones in her arms. Close your eyes. The imagined pain never came. Josie opened her eyes. Check on the kids right away. Joe lit. How are you guys doing? The kids' faces turned pale, clutching Josie, speechless. Joe picked them all up. After checking it out, after confirming they weren't injured, I can finally relax. Suddenly, Josie felt something was off. They fell from such a high place. How could it be okay? He brushed away Thechican blood under his butt. They were unexpectedly found in the arms of the Golden Collar elite. Josie was so scared that she scrambled to her feet. Are you a gold collar? The Golden Collar worker frowned. The voice carried a restaurant hoarseness. It's fine. Josie reached out and pulled him up from the snow. He just moved. Josie saw. The bright red blood spread through the crimson hue. You're hurt. The Golden Collar worker glanced at the wound on his waist. Don't care. It's nothing. Just a minor injury. Josie lowered her head. At first glance, the sharp stones in the ground were clearly visible. If it weren't for Jin Ling protecting them down there just now, this stone is stuck right in their flesh. Lost so much blood. How could it be a minor injury? Stop moving right now. Let me bandage that for you. Josie pulled out animal hide. Press on the wound at his waist. The Golden Collar lowered his eyes, looking at the urgency between his brows. A softness in the heart. This injury would have been nothing in the past. He doesn't even bother to deal with it. He did not refuse Josie from bandaging him. Soon after the bandaging was done, Josie looked up and met Thasi's shimmering with an unusual glow. What's wrong? He asked in confusion. Does the wound hurt? Kim Ling really wanted to say it's fine, but facing his concerned gaze, nodded against one's will. It hurts a bit right now. A chubby little head popped up between the two of them. Kiki gazed at them with her big, clear eyes. Let mommy kiss it better. You won't hurt anymore. Josie froze. My cheeks feel hot. He picked up Kiki and took a step back, letting out a dry laugh. No need for that. His golden eyes flickered with a hint of disappointment. It was my mistake. Didn't notice that trap underfoot. Josie looked up at the hole from which they had fallen. How could there be such a deep hole? This should have been left by the ORCs, used to capture large wild beasts. This dig is way too deep. It's at least 10 meters. Later, you all come over to me. I'll carry you up. Josie nodded, just about to speak. Then came the sound of heavy panting from above. The manager's expression darkened, warily guarding in front of Josie and the others. A fierce beast is coming. Josie's expression changed slightly. The light in the trap dimmed. The head of a giant black bear beast reached in from the cave entrance. It's the black bear beast. Stay still in the cave. I'll go up and deal with him. The manager finished speaking. The hands turned into sharp claws, piercing into the stone wall, quickly climbing upwards. The black bear beast glanced at the spirit. The huge head suddenly withdrew from the cave entrance. Josie knows. The black bear beast would never leave so easily. Sure enough, just as Thielf reached the cave entrance, the black beast bared its fangs and pounced. The fairy jumped out of the cave entrance, turned into a beast form, got into a fight with black bear beast. They are in the cave. From time to time, shadows could be seen darting past. The sound of a fierce beast roaring. Josie pressed her lips tightly together. I don't know either. What's the situation up there? I don't know how long it's been. The sound outside suddenly disappeared. Could Golden Collar be in danger? Just as Josie was anxiously waiting, the system's voice sounded. Real-life mission. Please complete the task within 3 hours. Let the little ones successfully hunt medium-sized prey. Mission difficulty, 4 stars. Josie's eyelids twitched. Are you out of your mind? Are we still stuck in the trap now? You still want me to take them hunting? Host, the rewards for real-life missions are very different. I'll quietly let you in on a little secret. The reward this time is none other than Beast Soul Crystal. Eating this will awaken the little one's beast spirit. Josie remained unmoved. Host, raising these little ones isn't just about protecting them, but to let them have the ability to protect themselves. Is it that Josie still hasn't said a word? The host is a real-life mission, but if you fail to complete it, you'll also be punished with electric shocks. Hearing this, Josie narrowed her eyes, threatening me, believe it or not, I'll quit. Love, who? The system panicked. Hey, host, don't get all worked up. This is the system. The rules can't be changed either. But I can give you a safe direction. Ensure the safety of you and the kids. Josie is acting a bit strange. He has already sensed the danger of being a test subject these past few days. Compared to him always protecting the little one, he truly hoped that they would have the ability to protect themselves. Can you really guarantee our safety? Host, rest assured. If something happens to you, who should I get to do the task? If we don't complete the mission, we'll be punished too. I've already checked it. It's in the northeast direction of the cave. There was a medium-sized wild ox beast. It is now on a kilometer away from you. 3 hours is enough time for you to set up the trap. I'll keep tracking the buffalo beast's location for you at all times. Absolutely guarantee your safety. With the system's guarantee, Josie also made up her mind and reached a decision. Josie looked at the cubs on the animal hide. It's getting dark. It's not safe here either. All of you come onto this bitch. Mommy will take you up there. The kids looked at Josie in surprise. Can you climb up, bitch? Josie wasn't sure either. But it's always worth a try. Soon, Joan refined the beast form. Tangled around Josie. Kiki and Joan, on the other hand, clung to Josie's leg. Josie took out the ice skates along the tear made by the elf's claws just now. Stuck in. Luckily, the ice skates were sharp enough. Barely managed to steady their bodies. Josie clenched his teeth. Finally crawled out of the hole with the little ones. The sky had already darkened. He needs to make most of his time. Mom, where are we going? Not waiting for the alpha male anymore? We'll be back in a bit. The little ones had no idea what Josie was up to. Yet I don't want to part with him either. The host is right ahead. You are now only 300 meters away from the bison beast. Under the big tree ahead, there's an abandoned trap. You can make use of it. Josie quickly walked to the location indicated by the system. In a pile of snow. Sure enough, there was a noticeable dent in one spot. Josie walked over. Carefully brush away accumulated snow. Below was a relatively cave opening. After the trap is ready, he just walked up to the kids. Joan, Kiki, Jolie, and their mother prepared a trap. Used to catch prey. Later, you all hid around the trap. Wait till I lure Thepri into the trap. You are responsible for hunting down the prey. Hearing this, the three little ones' faces turned pale. Tiny by Land's big eyes instantly welled up with tears. His eyes were filled with accusations as he glared at him. Joan clenched her little fists in anger. You stupid female, want us to be the bait. Jolie's little face was the palest of all. His crimson eyes glared coldly at Josie. You're trying to get us killed. No way. The three brats turned around and tried to run. Josie was quick-witted and sharp-eyed. Hurry up and hold them. Listen to what the bitch says. The wild bull beast is already coming this way. If we don't catch him, he will attack us if detects our presence. To protect oneself, we can only strike back first. 3 pairs of eyes stared at him with either anger or despair. Watching it made Josie's heart ache. Josie looked into the kid's eyes. Just trust mom this once, okay? Joan and Joliet still very resistant. Only Kiki's attitude softened a bit. Are you really noticing us as bait? I swear I'm not. Kiki looks at her brother. Look at my little brother again. Brother Nana. Third brother, let's trust mother this once, okay? Joan angrily snorted. Just once, if you lie to us again, I won't let you off the hook. Jolie stared at Josie without saying a word. Joan didn't dare waste any time. Around the cave entrance. Found the safe stand most hidden spot. Let the kiddos hide well. Take this ice pick, Joan, for self-defense. Joan clenched the ice skates before seeing the family mother running over. You absolutely must not come out. You know what, Josie Owen? Obediently nodded. Josie gritted her teeth and got up. Didn't notice not far away. A pair of eyes was watching them the whole time. The host wild bull beast is already heading this way. Now, you're only 50 meters away. Josie casually picked up a wooden stick from the ground, running towards the direction of the wild ox beast. The host is here. Josie stopped in her tracks. The cold wind blows in. He caught a whiff of the wild beast's foul stench. The next instant, a wild buffalo beast twice the size of a normal water buffalo. He charged towards him. Jojo turned around and ran. The wild bull beast is chasing from behind. Host, run. The wild bull beast is about to catch up. Josie swore. He had never run this fast in his entire life. Josie immediately teletrasmed into her beast form, running swiftly through the snow. The little ones hiding in the snow are very. Soon, the sound of movement from ahead could be heard. Kiki spotted at a glance that sprinting Josie was female. He's coming over. Behind him followed a wild ox beast. Jolie tightened his little face and transformed into his beast form. Prepared for defensive attacks, Josie rushed to the location of the trap in one breath. Gritting teeth and leaping, the wild bull beast continued urging forward fiercely. Josie jumped over the trap. As I landed, my feet suddenly slipped. Half of his body suddenly angled over the trap. The disguised trap collapsed with a thunderous crash. The wild bull beast that couldn't break in time also fell into the trap. Jojo and the others ran out from the snow after the wild bull beast fell into the trap, angrily roaring, looking at Josie hanging at the cave entrance, pushing hard against stone wall. The violent tremor made Josie's hand go weak. The whole person fell into the trap. Josie fell into the trap in an instant. The wild bull beast lowered its head and charged straight at him. Josie rolled on the ground. Dodge out of the way. Joan, you guys go find the ice stone. Come over, the more the better. Hurry up. Jolie was the first to react. Turn around and leave. Soon, Kiki and the other Saul had milk tea in their hands. Back to the cave entrance. Josie glanced at them. The gaze is resolute. When the golden collar guy carried the black bear beast back to the trap, his face suddenly changed. Josie and the others are gone. Put down the black bear beast. The gold collar worker searched around the cave entrance for their traces, followed the footprints in the ground. Outside the trap, the three Lidiones watched Josie without moving. Jolie obediently smashed the ice rock down. Kill the wild beast. Josie hadn't finished speaking yet. The wild bull beast charged over again. The trap isn't big. Josie didn't have much space to dodge. Several rounds later, he already had several more wounds on his body. Jolie's little face was tightly clenched, watching the beastly bison smash down heavily. Go to hell, Jolie on and Kiki. Let Jolie moving. They all raised the ice stones in their hands and hurled them at the wild ox beast. The wild ox beast was even angrier after being hit. I went to find Bing Shi. You guys stay here and keep watch. Jolie carried blocks of ice stone sewn by one to the edge of the trap. Kiki and Joan, with great effort, he smashed the ice rock onto the wild bull beast. The wild bull beast got hit in the eye. With a furious roar, he crashed into Josie. Josie couldn't dodge in time. Got bumped on the shoulder. The pain turned her face pale. Mother Kiki let out a startled cry. Raised the ice in hand high, smashing hard into the old bull beast's head. With the sound of bones shattering, the wild ox beast crashed to the ground with a thunderous thud. Looking at the wild bison beast lying on the ground, Josie's vision gradually blurred. Congratulations, host, you have obtained the beast soul crystal. It's still a high-level yellow crystal, you know. Damn system. You promised to keep me safe, didn't you? Hee, I'm talking about guaranteeing your safety. That's right. Ouch. My stomach hurts. Go take a piss first. A code needs to be convenient my ass. Josie lost consciousness before she could finish cursing. I don't know how long it had been. He pried open his heavy eyelids. I saw one big and three small ones. The ORC sat before him like a statue. Seeing him open his eyes, leading the charge up front. Josie, you're finally awake. Josie blinked, shocked by the intense emotions in Jin Ling's eyes. This guy is quite loyal and righteous. Seeing him hurt almost made me cry from worry. I'm fine. Kiki cried so much her eyes are swollen. He carefully held onto Josie's hand, pouting. Looks like she's about to cry again. Josie couldn't bear to see him like this. Comforting with heartache. Don't cry. Bitch got nothing better to do. Just a minor scrape. He just moved. It tugged at Thuound on his shoulder. It hurt so much Thaith gasped in pain. Stop moving around. The golden collar man's gilded deep eyes darkened. Carefully support Josie. Don't let him get up. Josie touched her own shoulder before passing out. It must be a broken bone. Stupid bitch, who told you to lure the prey? Want food? Big macho men won't go catch it? Joan, who had remained silent all along. A milky voice, filled with anger and trembling. Jolie's face looked even paler. He didn't say anything, just the bewilderment and speechlessness in the eyes. He has already made his stance clear. If it weren't fourth beast soul crystal, Josie would risk getting electrocuted. I wouldn't let myself or Zai take the risk either. This time, they must have been scared out of their wits. Won't happen again. Golden Collar knew Josie because of the hunting injury. My heart ached. This kind of pain, completely different from the stabbing pain of past heartaches. It's like being struck by lightning. It's in him uncomfortable to the point of breathlessness. He refused to reminisce. When he saw Josie covered in blood, fell into the trap. How scared is he? This fear was an emotion he had never experienced before. He's afraid something might happen to him. Sissi, you cured me. My life is yours. From now on, you can tell me whatever you want. I will definitely do it for you. Suddenly receiving such a solemn promise from Jin Ling, Josie was deeply moved. That pill wasn't waste of money. At this very moment, the system's voice sounded. Ding dong, new mission delivered, host. Damn bastard, I almost ended up half paralyzed. You better give him an explanation. Host, don't be angry. I'm here to make it up to you. This mission is very easy. As long as you let all three little ones give you kisses, the mission is complete. The rewards this time are also awesome. Oh, it's kissing. Sounds like it's not too hard. Josie turned around and saw Jolie staring at him with a cold expression. Suddenly feel like cursing the system again. This mission is unrealistic. Why don't you take advantage of the buzz while you're still trending from the injury? Just let the little brats go along with you then. Although the system is very inhumane. But this suggestion is feasible. Josie let out a grunt and looked at Kiki. Kiki, two snow-white ears twitched. Quickly moved next to Josie. What's up? Mother Josie frowned. Looking weak and exhausted. Mom's wound hurts so much. Kiss your mother, okay? Kiss mommy and it won't hurt anymore. Jojo didn't think twice about it. He just planted a kiss in Josie's face. Is mom feeling better now? Looking at the soft and cuddly little one. Josie really wasn't in that much pain anymore. Joan also wants to kiss mommy, okay? Joan's face stiffened slightly. Your frown is so deep it could crush a fly. I don't want to. At this moment, Kiki held onto Joan coquettishly. Brother, just give mom a kiss. Mom looks really upset. Joan gave a proud and sundear, hey emph. He quickly brushed his lips against her forehead. Stupid female sare, such a hassle. Josie discovered. Her shy little braids were practically standing on end. So cute. Without much thought, he turned his head to look at Jolie. Jolie, can you also kiss your mom, okay? Jolie's face was as if covered in a layer of frost. Josie weakly clutched her chest. It hurts so much, Jolie. Mommy needs your loving kisses. Joni clenched his little fists tightly. The lips were pressed tightly together, like walking to the execution ground. Step by step, Hesh pulled up to Josie. Josie was afraid he would run away. Gritting his teeth, he forced himself up, shamelessly shoving his face right up to Jolie. Joan frowned in disgust. Finally, he moved closer, touched her face, but quickly jumped away. No more. Next time. Congratulations on completing the mission, host. Please accept the reward. Storage space. Josie's vision flashed white. Void space. Suddenly, turned into a deserted open space. What the hell? You're spacious like a barren wasteland. Black host. This isn't just a simple storage space, you know. You'll complete more tasks in the future. After getting more rewards, I knew the wonderfulness of this space. While Josie was fully focused in communicating with the system, Jojo suddenly dropped a bitch. Do you also want a big manly kiss? Josie didn't even notice Jojo's little mouth opening and closing. What are you talking about? So he nodded subconsciously. Wait until the manager's enlarged handsome face almost pressed it right against his face. He just snapped out of it. What did Jojo just say?